Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome to the preview of Barcelona against Sporting Gijón live from the Camp Nou tomorrow evening. Now you may have already noticed that there are some new visuals going on in the videos. I've seen a lot of comments, guys, and I appreciate all the feedback regarding just having a little bit more going on in the videos. Of course, these videos are primarily based around me talking, but of course there's nothing wrong in giving more visual content and just giving you something to look at really as you're watching the video. So we'll have different things coming up, player stats, possibly league tables and things. I'm still working on it, so bear with me, but today is a little sample of what's going to be coming up. So there's a few players specifically that I'm going to focus on, and the videos are going to be a little bit more structured, because usually I just come into these preview videos and I just lurch from one thing to another, no real structure about the video. I think we're always going to try and focus on a few key players from both sides, Barcelona of course, but also try and have a look at the opposition and also have a look at the form table as well. So if we're looking at Sporting, so far they've certainly not had a great season, but it was never really expected of them to come up and really stamp their authority on La Liga. It was always going to be a big achievement if they could manage to stay up. A lot of their squad are Spanish. They're very much a homegrown club. They like to promote from within. They, like a lot of La Liga clubs, there's not a lot of money there. And one of the men who is there is Abelardo. Now, the coach of Sporting Gijón is a big man. He's a very, very big lad. And he used to play centre-back for Barcelona. He used to be a fantastic centre-back for Barcelona. He played with Luis Enrique. There's a very famous photo, actually, of those two on the bus celebrating a title win. So that's very interesting. Abelardo and Luis Enrique are both very, very good friends. But, of course, both of them will be going out there tomorrow to win the game for their side, because Sporting, in 18th position and currently inside the relegation zone, desperately need the points. They're 1 point away from getting out of it, so certainly the incentive will be there tomorrow for Sporting Gijón to sit in, to sit deep, to soak up the pressure and try and nick a point, because anything at the moment in their situation will massively help them. But certainly Abelardo, last time we met Sporting was in February, actually, not so long ago, because it was the game that got moved back because of our contribution in the Club World Cup in December, so we had to move it back till this February. That was a 3-1 victory for us, but on that night Sporting played quite well, and certainly players like Halilovic, like Sanabria, who I'm going to come on to later in the video, they will pose a threat, and Abelardo has got his team well drilled. They work hard, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they perform tomorrow night. Of course, they're not very high on confidence, but any team coming to the Camp Nou is full of incentive and full of motivation to try and get something off it, so it's going to be interesting to see how that one pans out. Certainly the one man that we need to be focusing on, and we need to be giving every chance possible to continue the streak he's on, is Luis Suarez. He is the man of the moment at the moment. What a fantastic match in the midweek from him against Deportivo La Coruña. Became one of the first players in the 21st century to contribute to 7 goals in one single game. He scored 4 goals and got 3 assists against Deportivo, taking his tally to 49 goals in all competitions this season, which is sensational stuff. I just read a stat that he's actually scored the same amount of goals as Harry Kane and Jamie Vardy put together. Now, there's a lot of people raving about those two in the Premier League. Well, Luis Suarez has scored the same amount as both of them put together. So he's a machine. He's a fantastic player, and certainly he's finishing the chances now, isn't he? We missed a few against Valencia, but certainly against Deportivo, Suarez made amends, and he certainly finished off the chances he got. So what we need to do, what Messi needs to do, what Neymar needs to do, is make sure they're creating those chances for Suarez, giving him as much space as possible. And Messi's combination with Suarez really was outstanding during the midweek game against Depor. So we need to continue that and make sure that he's going to get a chance, because I'd fancy him, if he gets a chance on Saturday, he's going to bury it. He's going to fancy his chances of scoring like he did in the reverse fixture that ended 3-1 that I spoke about. Suarez got on the score sheet that day. The assist coming from Alex Vidal, who, another interesting point about Alex Vidal, whether he'll play tomorrow. There's been a lot of speculation throughout the midweek. He was left out of the squad against Deportivo. Douglas was on the bench. It was all a bit confusing. Luis Enrique today in the press conference didn't really make too much of it. So I would certainly expect Alex Vidal tomorrow to be included, and I would definitely probably expect him to start the game tomorrow, because there's been a lot of speculation about him. He's only just come back from injury, so I think tomorrow he'll get his chance and he'll go in ahead of Dani Alves, who played very well in midweek actually against Depor, Neymar. But other than that, it's not going to be a great deal of changes. Gerard Piqué will probably return. Matt Barcher, despite his fantastic performance, will probably drop to the bench. But it was pretty much an unchanged team. I'd probably go with Iniesta. He may choose to rotate Rakitic, possibly bring in Sergio Roberto, but certainly the front three will remain. And then the next person I want to talk about specifically is Neymar, because he needs a good game. Now, on Wednesday, he scored a goal. He got an assist to Luis Suarez. Very, very unselfish in his play. But I just think he needs one of those games where he doesn't even have to score. He doesn't have to assist. It's nothing like that. It's just one of those games where you feel that he's very confident. One of those games where he's picking the ball up and he's trying to go past players. He's doing his tricks. He's winding up the opposition, because then you know that Neymar is confident, and you know that he's on his game and that he feels good in himself. And I think he just needs one of those games where he really takes it to the opposition and he's our best player, because that'll really fill him with a lot of confidence. And Suarez came out with him, and I must say with Suarez, he did really well here, because he came out after the Deportivo game and he defended Neymar. He said it's nothing to do with Neymar. You can't pin the defeats on him. We're a team. We're not machines. We're humans. We can sometimes make mistakes. And I think he just said basically, look, Neymar may be going through a bit of a rush patch, but he'll come back. We don't need to get on his back for that. He's going to come back bigger, stronger and better, and I hope that he can start doing that now, because the news has come out, of course, that he will miss the Copa America this summer. He'll only play at the Olympic Games, which personally I think is a fantastic result. I think he could no way have played 2 tournaments in the summer and been right the next season, because he already looks a little bit fatigued. So it's good that he's just playing the Olympics. That's going to come at the end of the summer, so he's going to miss a few games of the start of our season, but it's so important that he's not going to play both competitions, because right now he needs some rest. He needs some time to shut down and just relax himself and get ready for what is going to be a massive season for him next season. And ignore the rumour, guys, because he's still going to be here next season. Don't worry about that. And the next player I want to come on to is Toni Sanabria, who is actually an ex-Barcelona B player. He went to Roma and then he was sold on, and he's now on loan at Sporting Gijón from Roma. And he has been really excellent this season. And it's very, very difficult when you're in a team that's struggling at the bottom of the league, hasn't got a lot of confidence, therefore doesn't play with a lot of freedom to actually score a lot of goals. And he's really taken his chances well. His chance conversion rate is excellent. And in front of goal, he really is a bit of a poacher. He's come on. He's just short of 6 foot. He's about 5'11" and a half. He's quite a strong boy. He's got a good set about him. And he just really gets in that box and finishes well. He's made 21 appearances for Sporting Gijón on loan this season and scored 11 goals. Now, for a team that's 18th in the table, that's impressive numbers. And when you take into account that he's just 20 years old, he's doing really, really well, and credit to him for that, because he was at Barcelona B for a few season. He played about 10 games there, so he wasn't there for an extended period. And then there was a lot of talk about his contract and whether we're going to renew it, and teams from Premier League were interested in him. Arsenal were heavily linked with him. He then went to Roma. Didn't really work out for him there. He's not really got a lot of chances, so they sent him out on loan, and I'm sure that Roma will be very, very happy with what they're seeing from him at the moment. So he's playing really well, and he's going to be a threat. Him and Halilovic, we know all about Alen Halilovic. They're going to be a threat on the break. They're certainly going to be a threat in and around the area when they're picking the ball up in front of our centre-halves. They're going to be a threat. Halilovic this season, 5 assists, 3 goals. Not bad at all. Interesting though, in the midweek, Abelardo came out and said, somebody asked him, why isn't Halilovic starting? Because at the start of the season, Halilovic was a constant name on that team sheet for Sporting Gijón. He was always starting games, and he was really the difference maker. He was excellent at the start of the season. But as the season's gone on, Abelardo has showed a little bit less faith in him, and he actually came out in the midweek and he said, look, if players don't train at the right standard, they're not going to play the game. So I don't know whether that was a big hint at Halilovic and maybe the way he's training, or the way that he's possibly tiring as the season is going on, possibly, because it's his first real season at the top level of Spanish football. So it's going to take him a little bit of time to adapt to not only the demands, mentally, but also physically as well. So it's certainly something you've got to look at. But I think Halilovic will play some part. I probably won't start the game, but he'll come on the bench, and of course we let our own players play against us, which is interesting. Certainly give them a good experience of playing against us. But we're expecting Halilovic to be sent out on loan again next season, possibly to a La Liga club closer to the top of the table. Villarreal has been mentioned, Valencia has been mentioned, and Sevilla as well are reportedly interested in him. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to him. But certainly tomorrow he'll play some part, and when he does, like in the reverse fixture, we're going to have to watch him, because he's a bit of a tricky customer. So the game itself is certainly set up for us nicely. It's a home game after a really confidence-boosting win against Deportivo, a home game against a team that's struggling in the league. But for that matter, we can't take things too lightly, because Deportivo in the week weren't really playing for a lot. For Sporting this weekend, are going to be fighting for their lives. They're going to be going for every ball. They're going to be committed. They know they're fighting to stay in this league. So they're going to give everything. So we can't underestimate that. Luis Enrique won't make too many changes because, of course, the beauty after this game is we've got a week's break. We've got a week's break between every single game from this point onwards. So Luis Enrique won't need to tinker with the squad too much. He'll rest players, of course, like he did in midweek if we're winning in the game, and then we can go from there, really. But I'd certainly expect us to win tomorrow's game. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win. I'm confident after winning 8-0 in midweek. I'm going to say that Suarez is going to continue his goal-scoring run, and I'm going to say that MSN are all going to get a goal each, and it's going to be a really, really happy game for us, and another 3 points. And it's absolutely vital, of course, that we win tomorrow, because Atletico Madrid are home to Malaga before us, and Real Madrid are away to Rayo Vallecano without Cristiano Ronaldo again before us. So we're going to be playing last out of everyone. The pressure, I'm sure, is going to be on us, but I hope that we can deliver, and I'm absolutely sure that we can. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think the outcome of this game is going to be? Do you think Luis Enrique should be making a lot of rotations? Who do you think should come into the lineup? What are your plans for this game? And also let me know what you think of the new visuals. As I say, guys, I'm still working on them, so don't get on my case about it. I'm really, really trying, but I'm still, in the early stages of making these videos better for you guys. But thanks as always. The support that you guys give and the comments, as always, are fantastic. Really, really great to see so many people getting involved and talking and, discussing things about Barcelona. That's exactly what I created this channel for. So great to see that, guys. Great to do the video as always. I'll be back tomorrow, probably before the game, possibly, and certainly to do a review after the game is finished. So I'll see you then. But until then, until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.